Knowing what not to do in life is just as important as knowing what to do. That's why today's video is called How to Stay Poor. These are the 5 habits I'm going to share with you that repel wealth, that will help you stay poor if that's what you want to do. But it's important for you to learn these habits so you will know what not to do. Hi, welcome to the channel. My name is Jessica. I went from 0 to over $1 million in net worth in less than 8 years, and that is why I started this channel. I wanted to share with you my own experiences of what worked and what didn't work, and what you can do to get yourself to a point of financial freedom if that is your goal. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos. These 5 habits that I'm about to share with you today may not even sound financial in nature, but rest assured that they are very much financial habits as well, because they are life habits. Wealth is simply a part of our life. It's not our whole life, it's a part of life. These 5 life habits most definitely translate into financial habits. If you want to know strictly financial habits, I did a video on those as well. I'll put the link down in the description box below. That video is called 5 Habits That Are Keeping You Broke. Check that out if you haven't done so already. Today we're talking about 5 life habits that repel wealth and will keep you poor. So here we go. In no particular order. Habit number 1, if you want to stay poor, be unreliable and selfish. What does this look like in real life? You cannot be counted on. Your word means nothing. You'll make promises at work, you'll make commitments at work, or you'll make promises and commitments in your personal life, but you will not live up to those commitments. You commit to certain deadlines for projects at work, only to constantly miss those deadlines. You may promise to help a friend. You may promise to go for lunch with a friend. You may promise to help somebody move. You may promise to go on a trip with somebody and cancel it last minute with no regard to the other person or to your word. You'll flake out of mostly everything unless you really want to do it. The problem with this behavior is that the energy you're putting out into the world says you are not accountable for your actions. You can't be counted on. And whether you realize this or not, but everybody around you knows that. Your colleagues know it, your boss knows it. And because of this, you will miss out on a lot of opportunities. You may think all of these little actions don't really matter, like if you flake out on a friend for lunch, or if you miss a deadline by a day or so, you may think it's just little things, it doesn't really mean much, but it's really important to remember that how you do one thing is how you do everything. All of these little actions combined make you somebody who's unreliable. So when the chips are down or when the stakes are high, people who are in a position to offer you big opportunities will simply not do it. Habit number 2 to cultivate, if you want to remain poor, is be stingy. Be an unthoughtful tightwad who's willing to take advantage of everybody. You're always looking for something for nothing. You'll go out for coffee with a friend. You will never, ever, ever offer to pay. You'll just simply pay for yourself. Sometimes you might not even pay for yourself. You're always looking to take advantage of family, friends, colleagues. You'll take for granted the good deeds that others do for you. So if someone else helped you, if a colleague helped you with your project, if your boss helped you in a personal situation or gave you time off when you didn't really deserve it, or if a friend went out of their way to help you, or even if a friend just constantly checks in with you, all of that you take for granted. Now, what's the problem there? The energy you're putting out into the world is that of scarcity. It shows that there isn't enough, so you have to take. The energy of a taker is very different from the energy of a giver. Think about nature. Think about nature and trees and plants and sunshine and anything that you can think of in nature. Nature is abundant. Nature gives. There's plenty there. You plant one little seed of fruit, the tree grows into a massive tree that's laden with fruit. Thousands and thousands and thousands of fruit it gives for years and years and years. And then the more fruit you take, the more it grows. That is the abundant nature of life. That's the abundant nature that we can learn from. Habit number 3, focus only on money and on looking rich. You want money so bad, you almost feel desperate for it. Every time the topic of money comes, you feel desperate. You feel like, how can I get more? Where can I get more? Everything you do is for money. At work, you're really just there to get a paycheck. It's not about service. It's not about giving value. It's not about creating value. It's not about giving to the world, but it's all about money. You are interested simply in acquiring stuff, in acquiring status. You want others to look at you and look at what you own and feel envious. You want them to admire you for what you have. You want them to admire you for the money you make, for the kind of car you drive, for the kind of watch you wear, for the kind of handbag you carry. You want others to look at you and say, wow, she has it made, or wow, he has it made. You so desperately want to keep up with the Joneses. You want to look better, feel better, have better things than the person next door, than the person on Instagram, than your friends. The problem with that is that the energy you're putting out is the energy of desperation, of a chase. It says that your happiness is out there somewhere. And life really treats us based on our actions and our intentions. So when you're constantly chasing, when you constantly think that your happiness is going to come from out there, you never even think about looking inwards. So your happiness indeed is out there somewhere, but you'll never find it because it's not out there. Habit number 4, if you want to stay poor, is to gossip about others. If this is you, you have nothing good to say about anybody. Nobody is safe from your criticizing tongue. Not your friends, not your family, not your colleagues, not politicians, not anybody. Everybody is a victim of your criticism, of your gossip. You talk about people when they're not around you. Even those you call your best friends or your good family, you talk about them behind their back as well. You talk about one friend to another friend and that friend to somebody else. You're constantly talking about people behind their back and you almost never have anything good to say about anyone. And the energy you're putting out into the world is that of smallness, of pettiness. Remember, small minds discuss people. Average minds discuss events. Great minds discuss ideas. Next time you catch yourself talking about somebody, make sure you turn that around and say something good about them. Say good things about people behind their back. Habit number 5, and final habit to cultivate if you want to stay poor, is use people. If this is you, you call a friend only when you need something, even if that something is advice. You take advantage of people's good nature. You don't respect their time. You don't pay back what you borrowed, whether it's money you may have borrowed from a friend or a family member, or whether you just borrowed an item from them, you borrowed a book from them or anything. You don't give it back. You take for granted people's good nature. And you probably have many ways in which you justify all of this to yourself. You don't offer a helping hand or a listening ear. And when you're talking to friends and family, you find a way to make the conversations all about you. With these behaviors, the energy that you're putting out into the world, once again, is that of a taker. Number 1 rule of wealth, of money, is to use money and love people. Money is a tool. People are not tools. You may have noticed all of these habits are intertwined. That's because they're all about scarcity. They all are rooted in lack and a scarcity mindset. These habits scream that you believe there isn't enough to go around. It's a zero-sum game. For me to gain, you must lose, so I must take from you. And nothing could be farther from the truth. Number 1 thing is make sure you have good intentions and do good for people, and you will be rewarded in ways that you absolutely can't even imagine. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this little bit of a twist on what to do if you want to stay poor. If you liked the video, don't forget to give me the thumbs up and leave some of your comments below. You may have experienced some of these behaviors from maybe a friend or a colleague. So don't forget to leave a comment down below and tell me, how did you deal with it? And more importantly, which of these 5 habits do you feel that you need to work on? Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next week.